Hey, good afternoon. It is Thursday, October the 2nd, 2025. Tomorrow is my birthday if anyone wants to get me a present, or it's going to be my birthday if no one wants to give me a present. So give me a few minutes while I get everything set up. Just going to put this on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I did find some more interesting advertisements today for life insurance. They were really bad, as always, where they kind of indicate that things are free, which is not the case. And I want to go over why they do it that way. Just in a second, I'll do that. All right. So I am now posted on Facebook. Let me get Twitter up and running, or X, as the young kids are calling it these days. There we go. Okay. All right. I think I have hit all of the top ones here. Let's take a look here. Why are we getting so many fraudulent advertisements? I think the number one answer why are there so many fraudulent or deceptive advertisements? I think the number. I think you all know the answers to that, but I will go ahead and do it anyway. I will go ahead and answer it again. Let's make that. I think this deserves to be bold, don't you? Yeah, even though it took that to the next level. Number one reason. Number one is money, as always. Usually that's the the reason for most things, some positive, a lot of times they are negative, but money is the number one reason why there's so many deceptive advertisements. A while back, they used to have basic advertisements like, hey, this is a top rated company. I'm a top agent. If you need some information on life insurance, give me a call, give me a text, send me an email, something like that. That used to be how it worked. Unfortunately, um, over the past few years, there are more agents, more companies, etc. And whenever somebody did reach out to them, a lot of times there was pressure, misinformations like, oh, you need to sign up today. So people stopped calling. People stopped responding to those things after all the spam calls and emails and everything like that. So what did they do? They switched their tactics. They still wanted to get people on the phone, right? But they couldn't do it by traditional advertisement. They couldn't say, "Hey, you need life insurance. You want life insurance? Get some information about it." So what they ended up doing was presenting advertisements like it was a free 25,000 or a free $40,000 entitlements, like free. They made it look like that it was free. I got through these ads every single day, and I can't believe that they're allowed to put them out towards senior citizens, especially because they're going to say this advertisement, and a lot of times they have countdowns too. They're like, well, you need to act by tonight at midnight. So what they do is they inspire or encourage people to call this number to get information about the free 25,000 or free $40,000 benefit. And when they call, they talk to an agent, and then the agent is trying to pressure them into getting insurance. And full disclosure, those whenever an agent signs up for that, a lot of times the agents aren't running those advertisements. They're marketers. And the marketers, they set these up and they charge anywhere from 25 on the very low end up to $70 per call. So every time somebody calls one of those numbers, and usually there's a cutoff timer. So it's like 60 seconds, 90 seconds. So they call these numbers, and the agent is charged anywhere from 25. Agent is charged anywhere from $25 to, I would say, the highest I've seen is around $70 just to talk to that person. So whenever we get on the phone with the agent who's just spent anywhere from 25 to $70, I would say the average is $50. What do you think they're more likely to do? Are they more likely to kind of find out what the person wants, what the person needs, or are they more motivated to recoup the losses that they've experienced? Like if you're talking to someone and it costs you $50, are you more likely to try to help the person, or are you more likely to try to push a product on them even if it doesn't make sense? From what I have seen, it's more likely to have a product pushed. So I don't think this setup, this is the way it's structured currently, does anyone any good. I don't think it does the agent any good. I don't think it does the client any good. Because if you're looking for life insurance and all of a sudden you see like this free 25,000 or free $40,000 advertisement, you call in and then they tell you it's life insurance. You've already been misled, right? You've already been lied to. I would say lied, even though structurally those advertisements do pass the legality of the advertisements. Like they do say stuff like state approved, may be eligible. So they've got it structured in a way where it'll be legal, but they do it because it's dishonest, because they know more people are going to call in. But if you get on the phone call with an agent after you've been misled, are you more likely to trust the person or less likely? I know a lot of people still get life insurance whenever they call those numbers, but I would imagine that they would question it. So that's the reason why you get all these advertisements, is all these deceptive advertisements, because the marketers make money. And this is the reason why you get so much pressure, is the agents are paying anywhere from $20 to $70 to talk to you, usually around $50. So just keep that in mind before you call. A lot of times whenever you go for those instant quotes, there are a few good companies out there that will actually give you a quote without gathering your information itself. You don't have to call. Exactly. You don't have to call. Just your information. Your information is worth money. So let me all right, so I'm going to put this in, and sorry, I'm just freestyling here. I will make this more structured in the future. But just your information is worth money. So if you go online, you fill out a form, you put in your name, your address, your phone number, your email address. That alone is worth money. So sometimes agents do advertise like that, and you'll get a call from one agent. More than likely, they'll call you multiple times, or sometimes they'll do an offshore assistant and have them call you. Or I've seen it recently where there's a lot of AI bots calling people. So just keep that in mind. But your information, whenever you fill out those online forms, is also worth money. Typically, those can range anywhere from, I would say, on the low end, around $15 to 27 or $30. Let's do $30. I think 30 is, it depends on how much information you put in, right? So you going online, you filling out that form, your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, your beneficiary, your favorite hobby. Those alone could be worth between anywhere from $15 to $30. I would say the averages are probably around $25. $20 to $25 is what it costs. Okay. So that is another reason. So in order to be successful, you need to talk to probably, or have the information for about 100 people a week. So they're dropping anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 a week to talk to people about life insurance. So that's another reason why you get all the pressure from the agents or the brokers. So just keep that in mind as well. Now, what else is there as far as the advertisements? Now, another thing about the advertisements. So even though, let's say you filled out this form today, you're going to get calls. It's guaranteed. Like if you fill out a form, you're going to get a call today. You're going to get probably multiple calls a day from one agent, or if it's from a marketing company, they're going to potentially sell it to multiple agents or agencies. So you might be getting calls from 3 people, you might be getting calls from 15 people. That's why your phone rings off the hook whenever you fill out these forms. If you're lucky, it just goes to one person, and they'll probably still spam you, call you nonstop. So a day goes by, days go by, and you're still getting calls. Now the thing with like this information, it's not just sold whenever you fill out the forms. It's retained, right? So after 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, they will be resold. So like in 90 days, it's going to be less expensive. So after 30 days, you're probably looking at like $5 to $10 per form. After 90 days, it's maybe like $4. And they have them up to a year, 2 years. They keep these things on file forever. So do not fill out the forms online. If you're looking for life insurance information, the best thing to do is go directly to a carrier's website, like Mutual of Omaha, John Hancock, American Amicable, SBLI. And even in that case, even if you go directly to the carrier's website, I would avoid putting in your phone number, your street address, because sometimes they'll knock on the door. Sometimes they'll go up to your door and they'll be like, "Hey, Miss Jones, I was getting back to you about this form that you filled out." And they'll have the paper printed. And say, "Yeah, I was just getting back to you about this form you filled out for life insurance information. You got 5 minutes?" Or they'll definitely have a script set up to kind of get into the door, you know. So just be careful of that. Your information does not go away whenever you fill it out online. If you fill out a form for life insurance, it won't go away. It's going to be maybe 5 years. I haven't seen anything older than 5 years out there, but it's going to stay on file for a while, and they're going to be incentivized to call you because of the commission structures, right? So if they spend $50 for the call, they're going to do everything they can to get you into a policy today, right? They spend $25 to $70 on a phone call, even though you were lied to. They're going to do everything in their power to get you into a policy today. Now, and just your information, just if you go fill out the forms, remember they're paying money to get that information to talk to you. So they're going to be more incentivized to call you nonstop to kind of pressure you into getting a policy. So with that being said, how do you get a good quote? I'd say ways to get good quotes. All right. Sorry, this is not formatted properly. Like I said, I'm just freestyling here. Ways to get quotes. Directly from the carrier website. Let's see, I will go with Mutual Omaha. That's one of my favorites, even though it's not expensive. I think it's very competitive, but it is slightly more expensive than some of the smaller ones that you might not have heard of, like American Amicable, SBLI. It can be. But Mutual Omaha has been around forever, and they are a fantastic website. This is more towards final expense for burial insurance. So I would go directly to the carrier website. The second option would be recommendations, referrals. Ooh. Like, so if you just people with life insurance, maybe that comes up in conversation, whatever, maybe you get to a funeral for a loved one or something like that, and the topic of life insurance comes up, ask them who they have their life insurance with. And if they give you the name of a company, that's great. Write that down. But if they can give you the name of the person, the agent that they worked with, that's even better. That means that the agent was good and they would recommend the agent. So just keep that in mind. I would go for recommendations or referrals. Maybe they'll have their agent's number on file. You can get that. They'd be more than happy to talk to you. But those are the best ones. The third option would be, I would say, if you want information on life insurance, I would say call into one of those numbers, into one of the numbers that are actually advertising life insurance, not that are advertising a free $25,000 or free $40,000 benefit. Just something that's actually being honest about what they're doing. All right. All right. And when I say honest, there are strategies in life insurance where they say as low as $9.95 a month or as low as $19.95 a month. It could be, you can get $1 million policy for $20 a month, but they don't emphasize the fine print where it's like a 25-year-old male in perfect condition. So that's to be expected with almost any advertisement. So call into companies, but know that you're calling in about life insurance. Don't call these places where it's there's a new government program in place that you might not be aware of. You could be entitled to $25,000 for burial expenses, or your family could receive $25,000 for burial expenses. This program will be ending tonight at midnight, so they create a sense of urgency. So don't call into those. Those are horrible. And I do feel bad for the agents as well. The agents who spend $25 to $50 or $70 for these things, because if they're aligning themselves with these companies that are intentionally misleading people, do the agents think that that company is going to be on their side? Is going to be honest to them, right? So they're misleading the clients or potential clients, but do the agents think that these companies are going to have their back? No. Like, I think if you're willing to deceive the clients, you're also willing to deceive the agents. So that's my warning for those. But yeah, call into companies that are advertising as honestly as possible. There is one, what is it, that does a $9.95 a month, Colonial Penn. They do offer insurance for $9.95 a month, but it's based on units. It's also guaranteed issue. Okay, so guaranteed issue means that there's a 2-year waiting period, no matter whether or not you're healthy or you've got some chronic illnesses or you've had like major issues like heart attack, stroke. So no matter who you are, you're going to get a guaranteed issue, which means for the first 2 years that if you pass away, the policy is not going to pay the full amount. It's going to pay what you paid into it plus like 10%, 5 to 10% back to your family. So if you do have chronic illnesses, that's an option. When I was looking at the price tables for them, I think it's okay pricing. It's a little on the high end. You can definitely find better pricing, but you should be aware of that. I think Colonial Penn should say it's a 2-year waiting period. Explain that to the clients, and so they'll have more information to make the correct decision. So those are the 3 ways to get life insurance. Now, one of my favorite topics is why get life insurance. All right, so for this, I think the number one answer, you need it. All right, and I can't say that you need it. You have to sit down and kind of go through it. I would say if you're a senior citizen, there's multiple things to think about more so than if you're younger. One is, do you have the money to cover the cost of your burial or cremation? Okay, if you do, then you're ahead of a lot of people. All right. So if you don't have the money to cover the cost of your cremation or burial, are your kids or relatives in a position where it will not put them out to do so? If they are in a good position, let's say that your kids got a traveling nurse or something along those lines, where they make a good amount of money and it wouldn't hurt them financially to cover the like a $10,000 funeral or maybe like a $5,000 cremation with viewing, then talk to them. Like you need to talk to them before you start looking for this stuff, right? You need to talk to your kids to see if it's something they're willing to cover or they're able to cover. If they're not able to cover it and you don't have the money to cover it, then you probably need life insurance. Now, for the senior citizens, once you have that established that you do need it, you want to be very aware of your budget, right? You don't want to be pressured into getting something that's too expensive. You don't want to have to cut corners every month just to make the payments. You want something that's comfortable. So you'd have to look and see how much you need for the burial, for the cremation. I would say a good rule of thumb for a cremation with a viewing, which is the one I like the best because it's less expensive than a traditional burial, but your family also gets a chance to walk up to your casket, especially if they're out of town. They get to travel, they get to see you one last time, say their goodbyes. So I like that idea. It's got the ceremony of a traditional burial without the extra cost. So that's the one I like. Those around 6,000. That can vary. It can be 7 to 4, but I would say $6,000 policy should be good enough for that. All right, so you need to figure out what you need. For traditional burial, those prices really do vary too. A lot of times if there's no insurance or the family can't make the payments comfortably, the funeral homes will work with you. So even though their prices might be $10,000, they could probably get it down to like 7,000 because you got to think most of their services and products are upcharged. Like the caskets, they probably get for $1,000, $2,000 selling for 7 to 10. Their services is just them performing the writing the obituary, getting the death certificates, being ushers at the service. So a lot of those services are premium. Like they charge a lot for them. So they do have wiggle room to reduce the cost there. So figure out kind of what you need. I would say for a burial, I would go with 10,000 for cremation with viewing. I would do 6 for traditional cremation. $2,000 to $3,000 should be more than enough for that. So find out what you need. So you determine that you need a policy. You determine what you need, and then start looking. Then start maybe finding out like life insurance agents' names or getting referrals or recommendations from friends, family who have life insurance. Maybe like going directly to a carrier website like Mutual of Omaha, which is one of my favorites, like I said. Go to that website, get a quote, and see how much that's going to cost you. And make sure it's a comfortable amount, right? Make sure that you're not going to have to like turn the lights out every time you leave a room or cancel your cable or whatever you have to do, like skip a meal. You don't want to be in that situation because you want to have your quality of life maintained, right? So that's where I would get that. Contact the carrier via website or phone call. But remember, only call if it's something that's advertised properly. So that's what I would do with that. Now, for a term policy for the younger people, and I'm just, like I said, I'm freestyling here. All right, for why do you need a policy for younger? Okay, for these, I would say number one, you have a spouse. %50 of your income. And what I mean here is like you're married, your husband, your wife covers at least 50% of the bills. I'll actually put that up 50 to 100%. I know there's still traditional marriages out there where, either the husband works and covers everything or the wife works and covers everything. Those are rare. But if you have a spouse that depends on at least 50 to 100% of your income, you need life insurance. All right, if you have a mortgage, So you have a spouse. So the second one, if you have a spouse, it depends on your income, plus a mortgage, you need life insurance. All right. All right, let me keep going here. If you have a spouse that depends on your income, plus mortgage, plus kids, you need life insurance, in my opinion. All right, so those are the ones I would say. And for situations like this where you're younger, but say you're between the ages of 25 to, I'd say, maybe late 40s, I'd say that those are good ages. You can go up to 50 to 60 for term policies, but I would say the sweet spot for a term policy is probably between 25 to 45, with a few on the 50s, maybe like a couple in the 60s. But yeah, the sweet spot is between 25 to 45. So if you have a spouse that depends on at least 50 to 100% of your income, you need life insurance. If you have a spouse that depends on your income plus a mortgage, you need life insurance. If you have a spouse that depends on your income plus a mortgage plus kids, yeah, you need life insurance. That's just my opinion. And just because you need it doesn't mean you want it. So that is a big difference. I think if you need it, you should probably want it, but that's just my take. All right, so how much would you need? Calculating need. All right, let's see, calculating needs. For the senior citizens, it's pretty simple. You figure out if you want to have a burial, a cremation, or a cremation with a viewing, like traditional plus the cremation. And then you can pull up the website. There's a website. I can include that in the notes here. Or you can get like an average cost of what it's going to cost, right? So let's say you need it and you want to figure out how much it is. You go to a website, you put it in. It'll give you a list of all the funeral homes in your zip code. It'll show you what the average cost is for the cremation, for the funeral, for the cremation plus viewing, and you can kind of figure out what you need there. Now, after that, plus needs, right? So plus wants. Because a lot of people want to get a life insurance policy to cover the cost of the burial cremation, but they want to have a little bit extra behind. Like maybe cover the cost of a cremation, $5,000 at the most for just a basic cremation. And plus they want to leave like $20,000 behind for the kids. So they'll look for, that's the want, right? You want to leave that $20,000. But the need is to cover the cost of the burial first. So that's what I recommend going for. Like when you're looking for a policy, get the price for the ones that's going to cover the needs first. And then if that's comfortable, you can insert the wants, right? And this is for senior citizens. For younger people looking for a term policy because they have a spouse that depends on their income, they have a mortgage, or they have kids, then for that, the basic rule of thumb that I like to use is, for younger people, I like to go for the mortgage, debt, all the debt. That includes like personal loans, car loans, credit cards. So the mortgage plus the debt, let me get this here, plus funeral costs. For example, if you have $165,000 or $200,000 mortgage, you got a $50,000 in debt, including cars, credit cards, personal loans. That's $250,000. Funeral costs, I would probably factor in about $20,000, even though that's high, but that'll give a little bit of a buffer. So you'll look for around $300,000, and that's just the base, right? That's not including anything for the kids. That's just going to take care of all the debt that your spouse is going to have, right? So once you get that, you want to see, once you have that amount, like all the debt, mortgage, funeral costs, you want to evaluate your situation to see whether or not your spouse can be comfortable if all of that's eliminated, right? So let's say you pay for 50% of everything. If those bills were eliminated, would your spouse be able to comfortably live after that? And if the answer is yes, you're good. If no, maybe increase it a little bit, maybe add 5 years of income replacement. Income replacement is the amount of money you bring home net every year, right? So I would do 5 years. So say you bring home after taxes around 50,000 a year. I would add an extra 250,000 for 5 years, and that should put them in a much better position. But that would be the needs, right? And we can always go for the wants later. Maybe you get the quote for 300,000. You're like, wow, this is really cheap. I'm going to increase it to 500 or a million. So that is definitely an option. And that's pretty much it for my rant right now. I might take a quick break to grab a cup of coffee. I see no one's on here and I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. That is fun. As long as I can help one person, I will be good. Oh, yeah, let me also. I do have to make some calls here in about an hour or so to do a follow up. I will put you on mute just to maintain the privacy of the people I'm speaking with. So just be aware of that. So, and maybe when I get back, we can take a look at some of these advertisements that I'm talking about. I've got so many of them. There's these people, the marketers, man. The marketers, I really do not like them. I don't like the fact that they lie to people. I don't like that at all. I think life insurance is so important, especially if it's needed. And not if it's something that you want. Let's say you can cover the cost of your final expenses for older people, or your kids are in a situation where it's not going to impact them at all, and you've actually talked to them. Please talk to them. And I just, the marketers are just painful. It doesn't do anyone any good. And for the young people, I wish more younger people would actually think about this, because I go through the obituaries every single day. That's what I do. I start my day, I go through the obituaries, and I'm seeing people in there. Most of them are older. I'll give you that. But there are a lot of people in the obituaries that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that pass away. And, based on the U.S. average, at least half of them don't have life insurance. Now, odds are if they're younger, they just don't have it. And that's heartbreaking to know that the family's going to have to suffer when they didn't have to. Like 15, 20 minutes to get a quote to fill out the application, and then after that, like $50 to $100 a month, maybe more, maybe less, depending on your age, height, weight, smoking, all that stuff. But more, 50 to $100 a month would have taken care of that. It really hurts seeing that, and I would prefer that not anyone have to go through that. But anyway, I can talk about insurance all the time, so I'm going to go step away for a second or two, and I will be right back after my coffee. All right. So here we go. So if you need it, don't wait. You take a look here. Let's see. I want to take a look at a few things here. Let's see. What can I do here? What is happening in the news? Okay. I want to take a look at some things I was thinking about today. I saw on Twitter that a lot of people are canceling their Netflix accounts for something. Like Elon Musk said something, and people are canceling it. So I was kind of curious as to, how much would a Netflix account get you? Let's see. Like I think for my Netflix account when I had it, it was around $27 a month. I had the premium plan plus the 4 members or something like that. So it's around $27 a month. So if you did cancel Netflix, how much insurance could you get? We're gonna go with 30-year terms here. So let's take a look. Let's see. I'll go with 25. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm working on a little spreadsheet here. I do love spreadsheets. So I want to see how much life insurance someone could get if they were to take their Netflix money. Like if you cancel Netflix, I'm not sure what's happening, but we'll take a look and see how much a non-smoker could get for $27. I'm going to include the states really don't matter too much. Let's see, 200 So if someone is 25 years old, and always go for the 30 year if you can. Let's see if they could. How much coverage could they get? All right, so it's gonna be more than 200. Mm-hmm. There we go. I'd say $500,000. A 25-year-old male would get around $500,000 of coverage for 30 years, using the money that they saved from Netflix if they were so inclined to cancel. So that's one thing. All right, let's take a look at the female. Female's going to be getting more just because. If I can edit this, let me go back. Just because females live longer. Oops, that's not it. All right, a 25-year-old female that does not smoke. Let's go with Alabama. Excellent health conditions. Let's go with 700,000. And 30 years. So not quite 700. We'll go with 600. And there'll be a little bit left over, right? So if a 25-year-old female canceled her Netflix policy or Netflix account, then she'll be able to get $600,000 in coverage, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 650. So 650,000. I'd say 650,000 for the cost of her Netflix account. This just give a rough idea. This is 25 years old, right? I mean, 600,000 might not be needed if you're just married. You're living in an apartment for now. You haven't gotten a mortgage yet. You just got married, moved in. You might not need 500,000 or 600,000. So you don't have to spend the 27 and 5. You could have a little bit left over. So let's take a look here, and we'll go through and do some more. How much could a 26-year-old get? Oh, 1999. Does not smoke. Let's go with a male. Excellent health condition. Let's see. So we want to do 30 years. Let's say 450,000. Can you get that for less than the cost of Netflix? Yes, you most certainly can. Let's see. Maybe you can still get 500,000. Yep, roughly. I would say you pay a little bit more, maybe 70 cents more a month in your Netflix account, and you could get $500,000. So that's 31-year-old male. So I'm going to take a look at the 31-year-old female and see how much would her Netflix account get her. Does not smoke. Yeah, if you do smoke, quit. That's just a recommendation. I know they're great. I used to do it myself. But that is one of the big factors that life insurance companies look at, is whether or not you're a smoker. So let's take a look and do our $650,000 for the 31-year-old female. And like I said, this is just a number I'm plucking out of the air. You really need to figure out what you need. It could be more than 650,000. It could be a lot less than 650,000. But you want to address your needs first. All right, it is running that quote. Let's see. And if you guys do want to get a quote for yourself, this is for term policies. Yep, look at that perfect amount. 650 for a 31 or 26-year-old female. I'm sorry, there's 26. Not 20, 26. 26-year-old female is $27.04 a month. So that's $650,000 in coverage, which for 26 years old, it might be a little bit much unless you got kids. You want to like look out for them when you pass away. But if you've already got a mortgage, then it could be a little bit more, a little bit less. But yeah, take care of the needs first. All right, so that is good. So let's go with someone around my age, which is really old. Let's take a look and see how much can we get. I don't even know how much I could get here for $27 a month. I'm guessing at least 100,000, even at my old age, old for term. But let's see, 10. I'll put in 1, 1977. Non-smoker, male. Let's go with South Carolina. Excellent health condition. Let's do 100,000. How much would 100,000 be for me? And once you get to like over 45, you really have the 30-year terms will be more expensive, right? Just because of life expectancy. I don't know if the totals have been updated post-COVID, but it used to be like 72 to 78 for male and female. So we'll do a 20-year for this. Usually over 45 is where you want to start looking at the 20-year. But let's see, how much would $100,000 be? If it would generate the actual quote, that would be useful. 18. Oh, I'm good. Look at that. I could go for maybe 250. No, not to standard budget. So maybe 200,000. So 200,000. It's killing me. 150. Let me give you 150. Can I get a good number? Can I get a 150? Yeah, around 150, 175. That would be what I could, if I did have Netflix and I canceled, that would be what I could get for the cost of that. 20-year term, $150,000 would take me all the way up until the age of 78 or 68. I'm sorry, 68. So yeah. And I'm not saying like if you to cancel all your stuff to get life insurance. I don't know who would tell you that, but it should be something that's affordable for sure. Like you want to make sure that like you want to first of all you want to realize the value, right? That's where you want to kind of sit down and determine whether it's needed. I know a lot of people just have this abstract idea in their minds. They don't want to think about death, but you actually need to feel it and see if it's needed. Like, and if it's needed, you want to realize the value of it. So, $150,000 if I pass away, that would be available for my kids, for my dogs, my cats. That would be in place. So you want to see see if it's needed and the value. So like whenever $23 is drafted out of my account, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's going for something important, right? Like if it's just some abstract thing, then it's not. You don't see the value of it, right? I mean, you just don't. Like if, for example, if you're 35 years old, you got the mortgage, the kids, the spouse, you got $500,000. Let's see. Let's say, let's go with the male here. Let's say we'll do a bigger policy. 35, it'll take them all the way up to retirement. So if you're 35 years old, you've got the mortgage, you've got the spouse, you've got the kids, you got the debt. Like if you only see it as like $1 million policy, you don't put the value associated with it, like where it's going to pay the mortgage, it's going to pay the debts, it's going to provide for the kids, it's going to take care of the spouse. If you don't see the value, if you don't add the value to the policy, then it doesn't make sense. You need to see where your $62.50 a month is going to. Like, why are you paying this? That's why I always recommend looking at the need first, right? How do you need it? And if you need it, then you can assign the value to it, and then $62.50 a month is the cost of that value. So for me, like 35 years old, non-smoker, $62.50 to make sure that the mortgage is taken care of, the debt's taken care of, the spouse is taken care of, the kids are taken care of. it's a bargain for me. Even if it expires when I'm 65, that's like 30 years of not having to worry about that. You know, getting up too quick, getting that lightheaded feeling. Don't have to worry about that. Going to the doctor for those annual exams when you're 40. You know, don't have to worry about that. I'm getting diagnosed with something. Well, it would be horrible to be diagnosed with something that's terminal. You don't have to worry about that. And with legal in general, they do offer the accelerated death benefit. So if you have, I believe it's 2 years or less to live, if you're terminal, and the doctor says, okay, there's nothing we can do, you got 2 years, you can get up to $500,000 out of this policy. It's up to 75%, and the max is 500,000. So for this one, you would get $500,000 if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness, and there would still be a $500,000 left over when you pass away. And that would be tax free. I believe there was a legislation passed in 1996 where they used to tax accelerated death benefits, but they stopped doing that. So the $500,000, you get that tax free. You would have to fill out, I forget the name of the form. I think it's like a 4099 to say that you got the income, but they wouldn't tax it. You wouldn't be on the hook for it. And you'd be able to live out your life, maybe get the treatments you needed, or maybe like if it's completely untreatable, you could go on some vacations with the family and have a good time during your last few months. But yes, the value. Always look for the value. All right. And hour and 15 minutes, and I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. It's not too bad. Like I said, I do have to make a call here in about 10 minutes. And but I will go on mute here, and I just don't want to be on the phone with a client and have their information shared. I think that's an invasion of privacy. If you look at a lot of, there are agents who do call reviews, and I guess that's fine because it's mentioned in the recording. You know, these calls may be monitored, reviewed for quality assurance. You see that sometimes, but and they never disclose like personal information, like health information or anything like that. They just get through, talking about like the conversation track and all that stuff. But let's see, what do we have here? All right. All right, zero people on this stream. I am going to step away here for a second, go silent. But if anything is needed, feel free to use the chat. I will not bite. There will not be any pressure. Hopefully, we can get the information that you need and help you out. So, okay. Curious how with a 40-year term policy for $1 million. It's gonna be more expensive for sure. 133. Yeah. All the way to 75. Okay. Excellent. All right, 0 people, I am back. So I need to make a quick phone call, so I'm going to go on mute here, but I will be here. If you have any questions, feel free to chat. All right, guys, I am back. I'm still going to do a little bit of work in the background, just some follow-ups and some emails. And if you have any questions, feel free to ping me, to leave a message in the chat. I will see that. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I had to do a little bit of work in the background. I wanted to take a look at something. And it's a little morbid, but I check this every day. It doesn't matter what's on the front page of the newspaper. This is the most important part. So whatever news you're looking at, like if you go to the obituaries and you don't see your name in there, it's going to be a good day or better than most. So I want to take a look at this and take a look and see what we have here for today. These are the people that didn't make it till today. 44 years old. All right, 48. So just the first two. Wow, that's incredible. 85. That's a really good age. 70. 71. 92. Something in Rock Hill where people just live forever. 74. 96 and 8 months. Wow, that's incredible. 79. Aw. Let's see. Wow, that sucks. So young there. That's 94. 21. My God. That's so. 63. 44. 68. So it seems to be the first page. I was looking at the ages of some of these people, and well, as you see, like most of them are older, but there are a lot of young people in here. And 82, 90, good job. 72. 51. It's a really young too. I used to work with a Gene Vanador. 50. Yeah, a lot of these people had a full life. I mean, that's impressive. Okay. It's just another younger person here. 58. $60. 42. Wow. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I was taking a look here, trying to go through the obituaries and look at some of the ages of people that passed away, uh, just to show that death doesn't have a time, right? You know. So here are some of the ages of people that passed away in the past few weeks in my local town here of Rock Hill. So we had a 21-year-old, which is tragic, 41, 42, 44, 40, a couple people who are 48, 50, 51, 53, a lot of people in their early 60s, early to mid 60s passed away. So that's why I stress the importance of a term policy, especially when you're young and you're healthy. You can get qualified for it because you just don't know, right? Like I saw a few of these families. I don't want to bring up any names, but they had kids. They had a spouse and they had kids, right? So I mean, a lot of these people, maybe some of these people here had medical conditions, you know, and they kind of saw it coming. But I'm guessing a good portion of these people just, went to work or they expected to make it home the next day or wake up in the morning. They just didn't. So that's why it's important to have something in place. Can you imagine losing your spouse when you're 42 years old, or losing your father when you're like 10 or 15? It's rough. That's why also another reason why I always recommend getting a policy that's going to go up until retirement. These people were like really close to retirement. The 60 to 64-year-olds, they were really close to retirement. Even, I guess, relatively speaking, the late 50s were close to retirement. They just didn't make it. So that's why it's important to have something in place. So, like, I don't know how many, at least 50% of these people did not have anything based on the stats. At least 50% of the people on this list did not have anything. Maybe they had a $50,000 work policy, and if it's for someone in their 60s, that could have been enough if they elected to even get it from their work. It might have been enough to cover the funeral and have a little bit left over, but if there's still a mortgage or still debt, then that's not going to last very long. So but these people here, I mean, I can't imagine. This has got to be really, really hard here, like the 40s to early 50s. That's just tragic. I mean, all of it's tragic, but this part is like you're still working, you're still bringing in income, you're still supporting the family, and they're gone. They're not there anymore. So all of the income, all of the financial support, all the emotional support that they were providing for the families, it's gone. So that's why I push really hard for younger people to get term policies, uh, especially to last it to retirement. I just think that should be something important to do, to get done. It doesn't take long. It's not expensive, and you don't have to worry about anything. I know these people don't have to worry about anything anymore, but we don't know if their families do or not. So yeah. So All right, let's take a look at one of these here. These ads real fast. Hold on. This is one of those senior advertisements that I can't stand. Almost no one knows about it. A $40,000 fund. So leads you to believe that it's state sponsored, right? You have to claim it yourself. You got to call and go through the whole process. Usually it's the same companies, right? So they go, like, if it's a good agent, they'll have like 10 or 15 different agencies or different carriers that they represent, like Foresters, Mutual of Omaha, American Amicable, SBLI. Maybe they'll have Ethos, possibly, um, a few others, but like John Hancock, carriers like that they'll have, and they'll do price comparisons, but to say that there's like some kind of superior discount or $40,000 been set aside, it's just not true. Found out by chance, right? Okay. You see how deceptive these ads are? It's incredible. Impossible. Just 2 minutes, everything was done. No. Um, oh, look at this. Look, they're showing an image of a checking account with $42,000 in it. Ah, man, this is just sleazy. Absolutely sleazy. Answer two simple questions. Those questions are you between the ages of 50 and like 85? You click yes, and then do you, I forget what the questions are exactly, but it's something very basic to, they'll pop up with a phone number where you call them. And then when you call them, that's where it's tricky. So let's take a look at that. I want to learn more about this one. All right, so here we go. Here is the chat from this advertisement. Hi, I'm Jen from Bureau Benefits. Are you interested in the free quote to see if you qualify for the benefits? Okay, so a free quote. So here it's kind of, this is a little bit better. This is a little bit, it's a free quote. So that indicates that there's going to be a price for it, right? But if people are not paying attention to this, then, and they click yes, and great, we connect to a specialist who qualified in less than 3 minutes. Are you between the ages of 50 and 80? Yes. Okay, so I was wrong. It was 50 and 80. Do you have any pre-existing health conditions? Say no for that. Do you have an active bank account or funds to be deposited? Okay, see, this is another thing. Do you have an active bank account for the funds to be deposited? If it's a life insurance, more than likely it's not going to go into your account, right? It's going to go into your beneficiary's account. So this is a way of finding out if you have a bank account, because a lot of carriers, they don't do the old-fashioned method where you mail in a check, or somebody comes by. I think that's a really really old method, but people used to come by and pick up the checks for life insurance. But so they're trying to find out if you have an active checking account, or if it's like a direct express card or something like that. So if you click yes on this, I'm sure a number is going to pop up. Congratulations! Oh, wow. I'm pre-qualified for the $40,000 burial benefit. So then you get the phone number, right? So you call the phone number, and I'm sure that you're gonna get through and get a quote for $40,000. So it's just highly deceptive, in my opinion. Enrollment is open until Thursday 10/2 at 8 p.m. You see that? Look at that. That's just, it's giving you a sense of urgency. So that's how they generate all these calls, which is just absolutely horrible. You know, of course, I probably talk to more people than I am here on YouTube, but still, it's just deceptive. Mm, mm, mm. Enrollment is open until Thursday. I guarantee if you call at 8:01, you're good. If you call tomorrow, you're good. If you call a week from today, you're going to be good. Oh, God, these things. No wonder, I mean, no wonder people hate looking for life insurance to go through stuff like this. It's just not good. It's not good for anybody. All right, $40,000 in burial benefits. Okay, wow. Wonder what that would cost. Let's see if you are 40. Let's do say 50 was the earliest, the youngest age. This is from a really good company, so we're going to do $40,000. So you're 50 years old. Accidental death benefit can be added to your policy. Let's take that off for now, just to see what a baseline would be. You know, let's take a look here, and we can calculate this out. 113 a month. So you could qualify for the 40,000, but it's going to cost you 113 a month. You know, it's not a horrible price here, but it's just they should say that that's the starting price. That's for someone who is who's 50, like the earliest age. And if you are, what was the age? Is 80. Let's see, how old? 80. Let's try 80 years old. How much is $40,000 going to cost an 80-year-old? First of all, you're past the national average for life expectancy, so you know that's going to increase the price. Usually, once you get to like 70s, like mid to late 70s, that's where the prices kind of go up. Like for term policies, the prices kind of tend to go down once you hit 25, just because from 18 to 24, the brain's not fully developed. And for older people, usually between the ages of 70 to 85, that's where the prices kind of go up as well, just to make you aware of that. So let's say an 80-year-old calls into this number, right? So look for the $40,000 benefit, and let's see how much that's gonna run. $549. So if an 80-year-old, if they're not paying super close attention and no one's told them it's a scam, they call in and they're trying to get the $40,000. I'm going to quote them $549. Odds are they're not going to do that. They're going to try to, hopefully, if they're good, they're going to try to find out what's needed and go that route. But that's just insane, So you're going from a free $40,000 to $549 a month, and that's if they're in great condition, that no serious medical conditions or anything like that. Maybe a little bit of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, possibly. But yeah, that's what they go through. That's what senior citizens go through to get a quote. Oh man, this is just, it's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And enrollment is open until 8 p.m. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to check back at 8 p.m. today and see if it's still 8 p.m. or if it's changed to 9 p.m. Actually, I can refresh it now and see what we got. All right, let's get through it one more time. No. I'm gonna say no. I'm not. Okay. So it does say no. So I want to see if there's what happens if you say serious health conditions. Oh God, these things, I don't know how senior citizens deal with this. Yes. All right, so it doesn't matter if you have pre-existing health conditions. See, it didn't ask about the health conditions. If it was like a heart attack, a stroke, COPD, sleep apnea, lupus, HIV. Didn't ask about any of the potential health conditions. Congestive heart failure, COPD. Nothing was really asked. No follow-up questions about this. And the next question is, do you have an active bank account for funds to be deposited? indicating that they're going to deposit the $40,000 into your account, which is just not true. It's just not true, guys. Yes. You're pre-qualified for the $40,000 burial benefit to get you set up in minutes. It's not going to be minutes. Like if they do their job, it's probably going to be, to find out what you need, what you want. It's probably going to be, and to do the application, make sure it's something you need, something you want, something that's going to be beneficial for the family. It'll probably be about 30 minutes, I'd say, from start to finish, on the low end, 30 to 45 minutes, because then you also need to get their information, contact. They need to make sure that they can contact you, that the beneficiaries, like the son, daughters, they have your information. They can contact you. You set up a follow-up call for when the policy is actually mailed out. So in just a few minutes is a little bit deceptive as well. So I don't like this at all. But that is where we're at. All right, let's see. And this is my personal Facebook page. If you want, feel free to add me as a friend. Take a look and see what we have here. Select quote. I think I went through those yesterday, and they weren't too bad. All right. All right, what is this one? Hey, that's not bad, actually. That's actually not a bad advertisement. It's not really deceptive. It's saying, hey, this is for final expense insurance. Give a call. It doesn't offer like a free 25,000, free $40,000 policy. So yeah, I approve of this this advertisement. Good job, guys. Funeral insurance coverage. All right. So let's see. Learn more. What do we have here? What do we have for funeral insurance coverage? Oh, no, 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 no. Why? Why? I was. Oh, I was so hopeful. I was so hopeful, guys. Hi, I'm Emily from Final Expense Benefits. If you're interested in the state approved final expense program, press yes. All right, I am interested. Great. Let me ask you a question. What's your age? I'll go 45 to 55. Congratulations. All right, cool. I am pre qualified for the final expense program. Your spot is reserved. We currently have 3 agents available. We are available till 8 p.m. Eastern. There's a little countdown. Oh, God. It was so promising. It was so promising with this advertisement. Oh, so promising. I mean, I'm not saying it's still going to talk. You're going to talk to an agent, and you kind of know that it's final expense, but and this increases urgency. But I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like it, I guess. Okay. What else we got? Oh, this is a good one. Looks like it's an AI generated ad, husband and wife talking about how the wife is good at, what is it called? Hacks. Yeah, I've seen this one before. Let's learn more about it. It's a good advertisement. It got a lot of people to comment on it, and I've got 0 people in my chat. So, all right, let's take a look. I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all. See if you qualify for final expense. All right, let's see. What state do you live in? Okay, let's say I live in Kansas. Male. Let's go with October. I'm going to go with the 3rd, which is my actual birthday, and I will use my actual year for this time. 1977. I do, in fact. How much cash is needed to handle your last affairs? If it's just for funeral, I would say, what? Do I want a pimp funeral? Do I want like a really, really fancy funeral? Nah, I don't really care, but I will go with 15. Why not? Who's going to be the beneficiary? I guess my kids. Oh, they want the name. Why do they need the name? What is a good name, guys? Ivana. Let's go with Ivana. And I have a history of heart attack, diabetes, or stroke. No. Favorite hobby? Ad reviews. I'll do that. That's my favorite hobby. All right. Okay. So here we go. We got the good stuff. We got the name, the email address, and the phone number. So this AI generated thing is getting online leads and selling them to agencies or agents for from $15 to $30 a pop. So they've got a lot of crucial information. They've got your date of birth, some medical history, who the beneficiary is going to be, your name, your phone number, your email address. So, and by clicking you submit, I expressly consent electronic signature to receive communications via automatic telephone dialing system. Oh boy, see that's a killer right there. The automatic dialing system. That is a multi-line dialer more than likely. So they have a list of a few thousand people in their call system. So what they'll do, they'll have a multi-line dialer, and it'll dial 7, 10, 20 people at a time until someone answers or it goes through the complete list. And then after that's done, it'll start over. So that's why there's multiple calls a day. Or by artificial pre-recorded messages. Oh my God, no. You get those calls. Hi, this is Sally. I'm returning your call about the life insurance. Oh, Sally calls me so much. Email or by text messages from this site, and multiple partners, companies, or their agents at the telephone number above. Even if my number is currently listed on any state, federal, or local corporate do not call list, including my wireless number if provided, carrier messages and data rates apply. I understand my consent is not required as condition to purchasing any goods or services, and that I may revoke my consent at any time. I also acknowledge that I have read and reviewed the policies. Okay, see, here is the thing with this, right? Here's the thing. So if you consent to this, right, and the multiple partner companies or their agents, so your information is going to go to potentially multiple partners, multiple companies, and multiple agents. So you can revoke your consent at any time, but you're going to have to do it for each one of these people. And how are you going to revoke your consent to an artificial pre-recorded message? They're just going to call back from a different line. They're going to call back from a different number. They're going to say, oh, well, I didn't get it from there. Because a multi-line dialers, when they're calling 20 people at once, they have different phone numbers that they mask. So that's something to kind of look out for as well. Currently listed for federal stuff. So no, do not fill this out. This is a solid 0 out of 10. Do not put your information in here. I don't care how good this AI is or how good she is at life hacks or whatever the heck she says she's doing. Don't put your information online for that. Do not put your name, your email address, and your phone number in these forms. Ever. Like, find an agent, go to the carrier's website, Mutual of Omaha, American Amicable, SBLI, John Hancock, Foresters, whoever the company is, go to their site to see if you could get a quote, an actual quote from their site without putting that information in. And just do it that way, unless you know a broker. Yeah, I'm a broker. But yeah, you can contact me. I won't spam you or harass you. But yeah, these are horrible. This will make sure that your phone is virtually unusable. Even with a spam blocker, like the calls will still come through. I mean, let's take a look at mine. This is the phone I use to test out some of these ads. And just today, let me take a look and see how many calls I have blocked today from this phone. Calls and text. Let's do. I want to see all my calls and texts. I'm going to take a look here. Just from today, if I go back. Oh, wow, look at that. That looks like it is just today, at least 50. $52. Got 52 calls that were blocked today, just from testing out a few of these. Just testing out a couple of these. I've had 50 calls blocked today. So do not fill this out. They will not stop ever. All right, so let's get back to and see what else we can find here. I want to see if there's anything good. A name that fits him. I don't know, Butch maybe? Let's see, Policy Genius. All right, let's take a look at Policy Genius real fast. Is there anything on Policy Genius? I'm going to say, I'm going to give my actual age. All right, Policy Genius, don't let me down, guys. Male, 10 to, oh, sorry, got my information in there. Good for me. All right, yeah, yes. Okay, just put in the average. Oh, they remembered me from the last time I tested this out. 58165, continue. Done. No criminal arrest yet. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I shouldn't be arrested for anything. Continue. I'm a U.S. citizen. Competitive skiing. No, I don't do that anymore. Ultra flying. No. Rodeos? Maybe. Don't have my pilot's license. So let's go ahead and take a look here. All right. So this is where it's getting your information. I don't like that. Just gonna put in tbum1981 at gmail.com. Best number, I'm gonna make one up. I don't want to put anyone's number in there. I don't want them to get spammed. So I'm gonna go with, let's do 8675309. And let's do 803, which is my South Carolina area code. Let's see, I'm gonna say Reddit. Let's see what my policy options are. Come on, Policy Genius, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Policy Genius. All right. Oh, okay. So Policy Genius has a couple of options. You can call them directly, or you can request a call from them. No. So just keep that in mind with Policy Genius. Yeah, I'm not sure if they sell it to a large number of agents or not, but just avoid it just to be safe. Or if you feel like calling them, maybe they will still have the call ID, so they'll have your number and information. All right, let's take a look. What else do we have here? Mutual Omaha. I do love Mutual Omaha. I really do. All right, let's see. What is this one? That's good. It's good. Let me take a look. See what we got. All right, I'm going to say 65. Burial. Let's go with Alabama. Male. 10. We'll go with 1. I'm going to say 1960. Just to be 65. See what we got. All right, we're new. So I like the fact that it's asking for your height and your weight. If it's actually going to give you a quote, that's good. BMI is important with this, especially in cigarettes too. Have you smoked cigars? Oh, it does ask a lot of questions. Have you smoked a pipe? Nope. Chew tobacco, and that's a negative. Nicotine, nope. Have you ever been treated for high blood pressure? I have not. High cholesterol, nope. That's a negative as well. Ghost Rider. Let's see. For burial, let's go for a $10,000 quote and see what we got. So this is getseniorquotes.com if anyone is interested. All right, United of Omaha. Hey, you can apply online. It looks like that one you can apply online. The Mutual of Omaha. Everything else is see if you qualify. Which could leave you open to Woodman's Life. Let's take a look and see if I qualify for them. See, first, last name, phone number, and email address. So it's good. It gives you an option for Mutual of Omaha or United of Omaha, same thing. But the only ones it looks like you can actually go through and apply for on, oh, yes, America. Aetna. Aetna's CVS. Okay. Okay, so it looks like the only one that you can really go through and apply for is Mutual of Omaha. So I do like the fact that it shows you the prices. That seems a little high for American Amicable, or I'm sorry, SBLI. Okay. Let's go for 25,000. What is Mutual of Omaha for 25,000? All right, so 65 is 127 a month. Do I have my Mutual of Omaha right here? Let's go for 65. I think I did pick that. Let's go 25. Calculate. 136. Okay, that seems right. Yeah, we didn't have any riders on that. Remove that. I think we were where are we at on this one? Okay, no medical exam, living promise, level death benefits. Okay. So yeah, it looks like you can apply for a Mutual of Omaha, but that's about it. So that's not horrible, I guess. Yeah, it shows life insurance, so you don't get calls if you apply for the Mutual of Omaha. True Stage, which is True Stage. You can access that through Ethos Life, which is it's online. It's pretty fast, pretty simple. You put in your information. They'll give you a quote. The only thing about the quote is it's like best case scenario quote. Like they don't gather much information about your height, weight, smoking, and all that stuff. So they'll give you like the best case scenario. And a lot of people get upset whenever they put in their information, like their age, and they ask for the quote, and it's a certain amount. And then once they run the MIB, which is a medical information background check, and they pull their height, the weight, it increases the price. So a lot of people get upset about that, rightfully so. But that's just how that works. So, but yeah, it is. You can do it all online. If you're going through Ethos, you can do it exclusively online where you don't have to talk to anybody. One thing is make sure that you are ready to commit to a policy with them, because once you put in your personal information and you cancel the application, they save it. And there's something called the Ethos abandoned cart thing where people can go in and they can buy that information and call you. So just be aware of that as well. All right, Mutual of Omaha. Be like them. All right, 106. This guy's still alive. That's incredible. Oh, it's from the news. Okay, so it is true. Wow. Wow. World War II. I wonder what his secret is. It's 106. Okay, that looks like Winthrop University right here. Life insurance made easy. Okay, well, let's see if, in fact, it is life insurance made easy. I'm not convinced. All right, there's an AI generated. Okay, I gotcha. No spam, no pressure. Okay, I like that. I like where they're going with this. Okay. All right, no spam, no pressure, but they're asking for your email address and phone number. Oh, I don't trust them. I don't trust them, guys. I uh, I just don't trust them. No spam, no pressure, but they're asking for your email address. Let's move on, shall we? What is this one? All right, so it's a life insurance. That's cool. I don't like the fact that it's AI. I mean, I guess it's going that way for a lot of things. I mean, would you be more comfortable talking to AI or a real person? Let me know. All 0 people in here. So let's take a look. Okay. Let's see. I want to learn more. I want more information. Plans start at less than $2 a day, so they start at less than $2 a day. Okay. Oh, beneficiary state, postal, monthly budget. What time? What is the best time for a specialist to reach out to you? So I don't like this. I don't like this. I consent. I wonder if I can submit it without consenting to that. What do you think? All right, let's see. Thomas. What is my last name going to be here? Let's try Johnson. That's a good name. T Johnson 1960 underscore best at gmail.com. I don't want to get anyone's real number or real email address or phone number. 803-867-309. Okay, beneficiary is going to be Jamie. Let's see, what's a good name? Let's try Susan. Susan's a good name. State, we're going to put my state in there, South Carolina, my zip code as well. What's your ideal monthly budget? That's good, right? You want to keep people's budget in mind for sure. The best time, let's do mornings. Oh, I'm going to take this out, right? I consent to SMS alerts, occasional marketing, and occasional marketing. I don't consent. So let's see what happens. It will not let you submit that. It will not let you submit the request for life insurance information unless you consent to the occasional marketing, and SMS. So that's a no-go, right? These look like they were. Are these actual reviews? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I want to get my free quote. Oh, okay. So it takes me back here. I've got to consent to this. I don't want to consent. I don't want to consent to text messages, to spam calls, and oh, so painful. All right, what else we got? No, I see this one all the time where she's got the little hands. I literally Googled the best life insurance. Uh, okay, Northwestern Mutual. Oh, Masters of the Universe. If you're well, all 0 people in here of you in here. If you're old enough, you remember that cartoon series in the 80s, I believe. It was fun, like waking up in the morning or after school. I think it was like 3:30 or 4 o'clock when it came on. It was good. Everybody had the little action figures, He-Man, Ram Man, She-Ra, Skeletor, of course. So they released a trailer. Okay, that's more of a plug. but I might see it on Max. Who is playing? I wonder who is going to play He-Man. Okay. Gerber Life. Gerber Life is actually fairly good. I think you can actually get a quote from them. Like for term policies, you can get a quote for Gerber Life. I do remember that from yesterday, testing it out. Yeah, I found a company that I like a little bit better. I love legal in general for term. I really do. But Gerber is not bad. Okay. It's 720. Well, I've got 0 people in my my chat, so let's see. Okay, he said not his results. Okay. All right. All right. New York Life. Your financial journeys are okay. Thinking with that, they collected information as well. They have people call you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people calling you, right? But it's just like the experience that most people have with it. It's just negative. Like having people call you all the time. It's not good. I like this one. Final expense insurance. Leave a legacy of love, not debt. Okay. Attention seniors, learn more. See, at least you know it's like insurance, right? You can have qualms with like the legacy of love, not debt. You can have qualms with that, but you know it's life insurance. Let's see. How soon do you want it? Oh, I'm ready today. What is your currently monthly budget? Let's see, 75 plus. Okay. Uh, Susan. What is a great last name? Tallywhacker. Let's go with that. So Susan Tallywhacker. All right. Let's see if I'm not going to put anyone's phone number in there. 75309. Okay, so you can book an appointment. That's cool. I like that. That's neat. That's not bad. I mean, they gathered your information. I don't like that part of it, right? You know, but you can set up an appointment with them, which is good. I like that. That's not bad. So North American Senior Benefits Discovery Call. Okay. I'm not hating it. I mean, I give it 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. And that's just with the bar being like so bad. So that's not bad. I like that. Let's see. Let's take a look at their website. See what they got 2 followers. You got this gentleman here. So they've got 2 followers and 1 page. So it looks like it was set up to get people to set up meetings. So more than likely there was, oh, okay, Columbia. Oh, that's the phone number. He's got the phone number listed there too. Look at that. Good for you, guy. Good for you. If this is in fact you. Oh, he's right down the street as well. Look at that. Yeah, this is for see how it works. Yeah, let's see. I'm not aware of like too many discounts for veterans as far as life insurance. I think it's going to be the same. It's just that the people who run this are probably more. They're probably veterans themselves, and they're accustomed to how it works as far as you want to be buried in a national cemetery or to get your military benefits. So there's probably more experience with that. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Go health. Okay. Discount life insurance. All right, let's see what we got here. I don't know if this is AI or not. Getting really good. All right, so that's cool. Don't wait, get 500,000. Little as $1 per day. Let's learn more about this one, shall we? Also, we want to take a look and see Discount Life Insurance, what they're all about. They've got 15,000 followers. That's actually not bad. That's a good, considering I've got 0 people in the chat. No hate, no hate. All right, so we've got this. We got kids. Okay, so it looks like it's a good site. They've been building up for a while. DFA Media LLC. So it looks like that they are. It's someone managing their site. So that's. I mean, that's fine. As well as $1 a day, calculate savings. I am going to calculate these savings. Let's do a male. Let's do 165. No. Let's go with 350 to 499. All right, here's the information gathering part of it. John Jingleheimer, J Heimer, 49. Let's see, 77 at gmail.com. 803-867-5309. And I want to get my quote. Let's see if I actually get a quote here. Well, I put in all the information. I did not get a quote. I did get referral options, so they've got my information now. Great. Well, it's not my real information, but they've got my information, so they can sell that, right? They can sell it. USAA, I think you have to be in the military or have a relative that was in the military, so I don't think that one's going to go. Ethos, Ethos isn't bad. Like I said before, Ethos isn't bad, but I think the prices are a little higher on some products. And best life insurance options 2025. So I did not get the quote, but someone's going to contact me, so that's going to be a no-go. What do the kids say? That's a no for me, dog. All right, moving on. I think we've done affordable life. July 4th. Oh, this is Charleston, 1937. Look at that. That's nice. Legacy Liam. AI generated. Okay. I'm going to learn more. I want to learn more about this. Hey, seniors, let's get started. How much coverage do you need for your final arrangements? Let's go with 10,000. Children, no. Let's see. Okay, state. I'm going to be in South Carolina today. Let's go with 65. right at retirement here. Okay, it's asking for information. I don't like this. John Jingle. Let's go with Ingleheimer instead of Jingleheimer. What's your favorite hobby? Ad reviews. Okay. Oh, email address and phone number. Ingleheimer47@gmail.com. 803-867-5309. Okay, let's take a look. So it's asking for a security pin. So they're selling these information or this information at a higher rate. Because a lot of times when people fill it out, like because they caught on to the not the scam, they caught on to the trick where they go in, they get your information, they call you nonstop. So a lot of people aren't putting in real information. Good job, by the way. So they've come up with this text to confirm your identity. So if you confirm that this phone number is valid, then they can charge more to the people buying your information. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is a no for me as well, dog. Okay, and I'm just going to keep going through. It is getting close to the 5 p.m. mark. Okay, I'm not going to touch those. Okay, this is the one. I love this company. I really do. I've got my policy from this one as well. One of my policies from Legal in General. I absolutely love this company. Been around for almost 200 years. Their term policy is done through Banner Term, I believe, unless you're in New York, which I think it's Penn. But it's a great company. Prices are good. They have an option where if you, let's say the height and the BMI index, right? So you put in your height, your weight. If you're outside of the ultra preferred level or any level really, they will add an inch to your height, not in real life, just for the qualification purposes, and then they'll see if you fall into a higher level. Like when I filled mine out, I put in everything. This was a few years back, but I put in everything, and I didn't put preferred plus because I'm a little bit overweight. And then they came back to me and said that, hey, we've approved you for preferred plus because they had that extra inch on you. So I thought that was really neat. Only downside to them is most of the policies are approved instantly. I got to give you the good and bad. I love this company, by the way, but like most of the policies are approved instantly. But if not, it could take a day or two. That's the only downside. But if you're approved, whenever you are approved, it's approved from the time you submitted the application. So if you got the policy today, it was in review, something happened to you. Today, your payment submitted, it'll be approved retroactively, so you would be covered. So that's what I like. Let me see this advertisement. I'm sure it's not directly from Legal in General. Oh, it is. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, look at this. Look at Legal in General. One of my favorite companies. 165. I wish I was 165. I'm working on it, guys. I am working on it. Let's see. Do you use nicotine? No. 29745. Let's go with a small. See, another thing, they go up to $10 million. It's a lot. They also have riders available where you can, let's say you have $500,000 for 30 years. You can also add riders for a 20-year term and a 10-year term, which means if you get a 500,000 30, 500,000 20, and a 500,000 10, you got 1.5 million for the first 10 years. For the first 20, for the 10 to or 11 to 20 year, you got $1 million, and then for the rest of the time, you got the 500,000. And the prices go down too, right, as each one expires. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. So I don't think I need 10 million. Let's take a look at a simple one, 100,000, and I want a 20-year term because I'm getting old. Look at that. Look at that. And you can speak to an advisor. I'm an advisor if you want to speak to me. That is awesome. Thank you, Legal in General, for being the company that I knew you were. So there's no harassment. You got your quote, right? And it might be adjusted, depending on health, but hopefully not too much. Um, but yes, I really like that. Good job. It is a company I thought it. Yeah, a moment. No, I'm not gonna talk to anybody. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oops. This is the one I looked at yesterday. Making a will is $149 online with Ethos. It's clever, right? Ethos, their prices aren't horribly bad. You know, I think they work with Meritus Life Insurance and True Stage. I think they're somewhat competitive. I think they're a little on the high side personally, but just a smidge on the high side. But yeah, you can do it all online. This is a great advertisement because you can't. I think you can get a will made for $149, but what they do is they're like, okay, well, you're planning for the end of life. You can get the $149 will, $149 will, but if you get a life insurance policy, you can get the will for free. Also, estate planning. They got a will, estate planning. It still needs to be notarized, right? So it's not. Remember, if you get the will online, make sure it's notarized and validated there. Maybe get a copy of it. So, oh, licensed agent. Okay, he looks familiar. I'm not sure who he looks like exactly, but that's kind of funny. Recently divorced 43-year-old man taking a new Facebook profile picture before posting it 11 times in a row. Okay. What is this? A dog? And there's like an inner light. I'm not sure what that means. All right, so we got Spanish advertisement for Mutual of Omaha. Any info? Cool. Yeah, so it looks like they are going for Mutual. Not a bad choice. True Stage. This is the final expense version or company from Ethos or from Meritus. They are not bad. Is your family protected? Matt for insurance. Let's see what Matt from insurance is. 36 followers. Buffalo Matt too. Okay, I like it. That looks like that is actually him. All right, so Buffalo Matt. Let's see what we've got here for that free quote. Uh, estate planning, my children, just exploring my options. Ah, Matt. Matt. Okay, Matt. That's okay, Matt. That's okay. I don't hold it against you. Oh, this looks cool. Bumblebee tuna. Okay. Remember that movie, Ace Ventura? It's good. Policy Genius. I think we've been through them. This guy's beard's impeccable. Is he AI? Do you think he's AI? I don't know. Maybe it's a filter. He's got the wrinkles right here, but the forehead is like completely smooth at this point. All right. Wow. Wow. I wouldn't announce it. I wouldn't announce I'd won the lottery, but there will be signs. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so this is Chris from Arc Financial Insurance Group. Let's see what we got. He's got some followers. It seems, I mean, I like it. It's final expense insurance. I like that. I do like that, Chris. I like that a lot. Leave a legacy of love, not debt. Okay. I do like that. You know, you're advertising final expense insurance. So good job to Chris on that one. Okay. Fabric, I like them. They're pretty straightforward. Uh, I like Leo in general better, but yeah, fabric's not bad. All right. Does anybody fall for the free benefit guide trick anymore? You know, there's like the free benefit guide. I think that used to work maybe like 30 years ago, possibly, where they're like, hey, we've got this outline of the stuff that you need, and then it's like a gateway into to selling you something. Eh, I don't think many people will fall for that anymore. Ethos. Ethos isn't horrible. Not horrible. All right. This is something right here. This is something. So 10,000 for 21 a month, 15 for 31, and 20 for 41 a month. I am not sold on this, guys. I'm not sold on it. These prices seem to be for seniors. Senior would imply 65 plus, right? Okay. Rates are based on a healthy 50-year-old female. Oh, is 50 senior? I always thought it was like 65. Let's see. Let's ask Grok. Just curious. Typically 65. Okay. I didn't think I was going crazy on that. So 65 is, so females, the price is going to be lower for a female to begin with, right? Just because they live longer. And it's based on a 50-year-old. So let's take a look. I'm curious. 50 female. What was the price on that? $20,000 for 41 a month. Take a look. See what we got. They might be good. All right, so Mutual of Omaha is a few bucks more expensive for the 50-year-old. I consider them well worth it, but let's take a look and see what they have. Let's get back to them. I'm gonna see if I qualify. My kids. What was my high school mascot? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Uh, what was it? What's a good mascot? What's the worst mascot you can think of? I am going to in sports. Let's see what's the worst mascot in sports. All right. The single worst sports mascot, subjective, obviously. The Pelicans, King Cake Baby. No, I don't like that one. Let's try. Oh, Gritty. I remember Gritty. What's that hockey mascot that terrifies everyone? All right, we're gonna go with Gritty on this. Gritty. Let's continue. All right, it's asking for name, phone number. So let's continue. Terms and conditions. Remember, always read this. By clicking, you send your information to senior benefit consultants who agrees to use it according to their privacy policy. Okay, by clicking the electronic signature to be contacted by senior consultants through a live agent, artificial pre-recorded voice, and automatic SMS. Text any, okay. Yeah, by manual or auto dialer. That's important, the auto dialer. Because they'll call you till you answer. They'll just keep calling. So let's go ahead and since I don't trust that, I don't trust that $41. That is, if they can in fact do 41, that's like three bucks cheaper than Mutual of Omaha for $20,000 for the same price, same age and health group. I don't know. I don't think it's worth $4, but that's just me. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Kevin passed away unexpectedly. His wife received $500,000 from a life insurance policy. Kevin was a client in the past for pre-existing conditions. However, we were able to get him a policy with no waiting period or no medical exam. Okay.
Here's what I found.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Siri. Oh, I think I like her. I like her. Yeah, it looks strangely close to one of the ads that I or posts that I had. Okay, so I mean that's I could check her out if you were so inclined. Okay, Peacock Life Agency. What are we doing, Peacock? Oh, it's a policy review. Um, here's the thing, right? For policy reviews, if you've had a policy for 2 years, I think hard about switching it out, right? Just because once it's not a waiting period, but there's a contestability period for life insurance policies. So after 2 years, the insurance companies can't contest your death, and not that they would normally, but let's say you get a $5 million policy um, tonight, or it was $2 million policy tonight, and then tomorrow you have a heart attack. You know, they'll take a look at the application to make sure everything matches up with your medical history, for sure. You know, but after 2 years they can't do that. Or like if you, let's say you fill out an application, you said you were a non-smoker, but like a month afterwards you get diagnosed with lung cancer. So they'll take a look to make sure that that matches up with medical history. I had one lady, and this was a horrible. And so I saw it on Facebook. I saw a post on Facebook where one company that I know is a good company. The husband posted that his wife passed away. She was diagnosed with a terminal illness. I believe a month. Well, at the time of the post, it was like 2 months ago. She was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and at the time of the post, she passed away. But she was diagnosed 2 months ago, and he said that she got a life insurance policy last month, right? And the thing is, with the condition that he had listed, she would have to. It wouldn't have been like approved instantly. It would have been like instant approval. It would have been a 2 year waiting period. So more than likely, either maybe the agent didn't put down the condition, or he didn't ask about the condition, or maybe she didn't disclose the condition. But that was like a little. It would trigger some alarms in the company, a life insurance company, if you were diagnosed 2 months ago and then you fill out the application. So just always be honest on your applications for sure. And if you have a policy that's older than 2 years, really consider before you switch it out. And if you switch it out, make sure you're switching it out to something you know what it is. Somebody actually explains it to you. Would you be open to learning about strategies that allow you to access living benefits? Okay. Not sure yet. Would you like to speak with someone? Review your options. When you want to speak with someone. So you can do within a week, in the next few weeks. So let's take a look here. Peacock Life Agency. We'll go fill this out. All right, still got Susan Tallywacker on here. No, I don't want to submit it because it looks like they're just going to call you. So it's very tough to get information without having people call you. All right, guys, it is 5 o'clock Eastern. I am not going to wrap it up for the day. I will be back to my audience of 0. Let me check here. I will be back for my audience of 0 here in an hour or two. Just want to maybe get some food and play with the dogs so they don't feel like they don't have an owner. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I'll be back on probably around 7 Eastern. That'll give time for people to get home, get settled. If you have got information, need some information about term policies, whole life, feel free to call me, text me. I'll put my number in the chat. It should also be in the description as well. But there we go. That is all my information, and I will be back in a couple hours. Hopefully I'll get at least one person online that's looking for some life insurance information or has questions. No obligation, just feel free to ask away. I will do my best to provide all the information that you need. If you do decide to move forward with a policy, I would be happy if you went with me, but that is not required for assistance at all. You can ask me about Banner, Mutual Omaha, Hancock, Foresters, Aetna, SBLI, American Amicable, whatever you need to ask. Feel free to ask. No spam calls, no texts, no harassment. Just want to make sure that people are looking for life insurance and they're able to get it. They're not harassed. They're not pressured. If you have, I want to make sure if you need it and you can get it, that you actually get it, by the way. I don't want you to, come to the realization that it's needed and you're like, I'm going to do it Monday, I'm going to do it next week, next month, because you're really leaving your family at risk when you do that. There's no pressure, but I do highly, highly recommend if you determine that it is needed to move forward, with someone, right? Take a few hours and go through, talk to some people if you need to, and get it taken care of. Does not have to be me. I would appreciate it if it were, but it is not required. All right, I'm sorry. I do love life insurance. I love looking at some of these ads. If you see, like most people are just so turned off by life insurance that they're not even responding to those ads. So I guess that's why they have to resort to those misleading ads. I'm not touching that one. All right, let's see. Life insurance starting at only $40 a month. All right, so pays for a funeral if you die. Okay, what if you don't die? Will it pay for a funeral? No physical medical exam, less than 5 minutes. No, I don't. Well, you could probably get a quote in less than 5 minutes, but okay, I'm not going with that one. I'm sorry, I could really do this all day. Oh, here we go. See, I didn't even look up SVLI, and they popped up. So I think my computer is listening to me. I'm kind of sure it is. SBL is a really good company too. I like SBLI. They have a program called the Funeral Concierge program. The concierge. It sounds very French. Essentially what it does is they take a look at the cost of your funeral. Like so if you want to be buried or cremated, that's listed. Whenever you pass away, the beneficiary can call the concierge program, and they'll negotiate prices with the funeral home, which is a good feature to have. And I think their prices are fairly competitive as well. I do like them. American Amicable is also a good one. Now, for SBLI, they do not mess with Sleep apnea, COPD, or cigarette users. They do not mess with those. So just to be warned, but SPL is a really good company. Okay. All right. Let's see. Knights of Columbus. I have not worked with Knights of Columbus before. See, they throw in these authority terms like state regulated, so it adds an air of authority, of credibility. You know, I guess it's some marketing, right? So what do you do with the marketing? You have to get a hook, right? Attention seniors. Maybe like if there's information that's not available to everyone, most people don't know. Imply scarcity. You know, this offer ends at so and so. So yeah, it's definitely using the techniques for it. We see. Okay. All right, I gotta stop looking at the ads. I really do. I'm gonna go grab some food, play with the dogs for a little bit, and I will be back hopefully around 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully, I will have an audience greater than 0 this time. But if not, so be it. I'll keep doing it till I do.